Ray Katzen, he was a man with very high standards, and this award maintains that level of expectations. We do not award this every year. We don't always get candidates that we feel measure up quite to Ray's standards. And so with that in mind, this year it was clear from Jeff Lievense's nomination that he exceeds this high bar. So Jeff has 36 years experience in development and scale-up for numerous giants in the field. Jeff has established multiple bioproducts into the bioeconomy, including various amino acid production fermentations, bioindigo while he was with Eastman Kodak and Genencor, 1,3-propane-diol at Tate and Lyle, farnesene with Amyris, 1,4-butane-diol at Genomatica. And in addition to all this, he's actively involved in the bioeconomy by mentoring small businesses that are in the field, startups that are entering. So with that, I would like to congratulate and call up to the stage Dr. Jeff Lievense.
Okay, wow. You know, I don't really do awards, so this is a new experience. Thank you. Thanks, Steve. And thanks to SIMB, the Symposium organizers, and the nominators for this very special award. I say special for two reasons. Number one, I basically have spent my career, my life's work developing commercial fermentation-based processes. So to be in the same company as Ray and the other previous awardees, most of whom I know, and I actually had the pleasure of meeting Ray some years ago. It's really an honor. Also thanks to the University of Michigan and Purdue University for the world-class training they provided me in biochemical engineering. Also, the state of Michigan and the U.S. government. I'm thanking the U.S. government and the Sperry Fund for financial support that enabled my education. Wouldn't have been able to do it on my own. Last but not least, thanks to my family, especially my parents, and most especially Lisa, my wife, and my best friend, who supported me for 32 years as we moved across the country from one adventure to another. By the way, Lisa is a great teacher of subjects ranging from hands-on science for young children to college-level chemistry, biology, physiology, genetics, and anatomy. So you know where I get my science inspiration. In the remaining time, I'll speak to the younger people in the audience, which is almost everybody. You are lucky. Don't hear that very often. You are lucky. You are the most important people here. Why? Because you get to execute on the transition to sustainable fuels and chemicals. You are the right people at the right time. It's not going to be easy, and it's going to consume your entire careers. I'll explain how in just a minute. But I'll go back to my formative years, sometime in the last century, specifically the 1960s, 1970s, when I was a teenager and an undergrad. Pollution was a big problem. You could see it, you could smell it, you could taste it in everyday life, and frequently it killed things. The first oil crisis happened during my freshman year in 1973. The price of oil quadrupled in a few months, from $3 to $12 a barrel. There were long lines at gas stations. All things considered, I thought, there has to be a better way. So I set off to become a biochemical engineer and to apply biology to solve global problems. Life is short, so here are just two suggestions for younger people on how to make the most of the opportunity. Number one, you've heard this before at this conference, begin with the end in mind. So what I mean by that is pick projects that are also good commercial opportunities, meaningful commercial opportunities, even if you're in basic R&D. Pick situations where you can do your best work. I did that, made a few mistakes along the way, but I did that so you can do it too. In fact, it should be easier for you given technology advances and society's growing demands for sustainability. Number two, don't let fear get in the way. Get up every morning and end every day with a can-do attitude. Why not? I had a very safe upbringing, same parents, same home, a successful student. Fear was pretty much absent. Then in my first job at Eastman Kodak, I joined the company's startup bioproducts division. Soon after, I determined we couldn't possibly succeed. I had a wife in graduate school and a home with a mortgage. When we failed, Mother Kodak would most definitely not take me back, and my wife would leave me. My life would be ruined. There were a lot of sleepless nights until I figured out how to put fear behind me. I did that, so you can do it too. If you follow these two suggestions, begin with the end in mind and don't let fear get in the way, I have no doubt that the younger generations will make the transition to sustainable fuels and chemicals happen. So enjoy the ride. I only wish I could trade places with you. Before I close, one quick announcement. Please consider attending 2 short courses at UC San Diego in mid-August. Microbial fermentation workshop and metabolic engineering for industrial biotechnology. These are taught by industry-experienced instructional teams, and it's an effective way to learn how to begin with the end in mind and much, much more. You can find the details on the internet or ask me. And as a disclaimer, I have no financial interest in either of those courses. Thanks again for the Raphael Katzen Award.